you know that the NMC is changing their process for registration for overseas nurses? New changes will be live by October 7, 2019. What does the new process entail? First, it's simplified. Second, they promise to be more efficient and everything will be online. Since it's all online now, there's better support for your employer, your recruiter, and yourself. And your progress can now be tracked by your recruiter again. So it's a lot better. Step 1. The eligibility, qualification, and application stage. Right. So what happens here is that you provide proof of your identity to the NMC and also proof of your qualification. Why do I say proof of qualification and not registration? Now with the new rules coming on board, the NMC can now take nurses who are just qualified and not registered from their home country. So how does this work? Under board, what they do check is the school and the regulating body. If you're registered, you passed your boards already, they check the registration only. Step 2. Once you've received your eligibility from the NMC, now comes the second step. This second step now comes in 2 phases. First is the test of competence, and second is the completion of the registration. When you say the test of competence, what does that mean? That will be your CBT and your OSCE. Now, the completion of registration can simultaneously happen or can be flexible enough that you can do that together with your OSCE and CBT. Basically, again, I'm going back to that word flexibility. What it offers now is that flexibility for you and your employer to do whatever works for you, for both of you. When we say completion of registration, this would cover the English test, declaration of health, also proof of good character. So this compiles that completion of registration. So you can see this can now simultaneously happen with the test of competence. Completion of your registration, now comes the NMC assessment. In the current system, the NMC is given a maximum of 60 days to review all these documents, your tests, before they can give you the assessment. That process as well is now shortened to a maximum of 35 days. Now, the assessment would also include registration upon completion. So no more waiting times, unlike before, wherein after you've taken your OSCE, you'd have to wait for a certain time before you know you're registered. Now, after assessment, because you've already paid during your completion and registration step, then it's just straight. It's quicker now, and it's better for you as an applicant waiting to be registered in the NMC. Other very important points to consider. The NMC has reduced the cost of the tests. Let's start with the CBT. The CBT was previously 130, has now been reduced to £90. The OSCE previously was 992 and has been reduced to 794. If in the case that you'd have to resit an OSCE test, previously it was 496, now it's 397. So everything has gone down. So that as well helps you being an applicant shouldering these fees. Or maybe the employer shouldering these fees for you. Also, you must also consider the NMC does not require any previous experience from a nurse when they apply. I know this is not new, but it's one of the most common questions that we have. And also, we must also talk about the Transcript of Records. This is not required anymore, or we call it here the Transcript of Training. This is not a requirement again now for the NMC registration in the new system. However, let's say you've got a master's degree and you would use your master's degree as a proof of your English competency, they then would have to look into your Transcript of Records. So with regards to the English test, IELTS and OET band scores requirements are still the same. However, the requirement for IELTS UKVI has been lifted. One more important thing to consider is that the NMC is planning to change the test of competence in the future. They have slated this to happen on June 2020. Congratulations! You're now registered with the NMC and you're a full-time UKRN. However, I must say, at the current situation that we have, me and my team have asked a lot of agencies back home in the Philippines, and at the current moment, they are still looking for first registration and experience. Can't blame them, but who knows? Maybe in the future, this might change. So if you've already started your application, you might be wondering, do I fall in the old system or in the new system? It's actually very simple. If you paid for your NMC application, which is £140, and you passed your CBT, basically that qualifies you to the old system. However, anything else, then you qualify for the new system. Any more questions? Feel free to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, do you want to get into a conversation with us? Join our community then in Facebook. We have a community, the Filipino UK nurses. The link will be down below. And for any other things about nursing, UK life, please make sure to always remember Manong George.